Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here to do your sneak peek for the week. How are you? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate you giving me your time and your energy today. And let's see what's going on this week. So every other reading that I do is for the signs. It's always for the week ahead, but this particular reading is for this week. But please understand that whenever you find this, it's going to be for the next 7 days. I always call it the sneak peek for this week, but I mean, maybe you're getting it on a Thursday, so maybe it's Thursday to Thursday. So keep that in mind as you are watching. I have 12 decks to my left here, and I will be reading from each of them for each sign of the Zodiac. I'm going to mark everything down below, and so you will be able to scroll this video to find whatever it is that you need. If at any point you don't see those chapters coming up, please go to the description, and I will have marked all of that in the description for you, so you can just click whatever it is that you need in order to be able to see whatever it is that you need to see here today. So I do this reading once a week. If you've never been here before, welcome. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with me today. And if you're someone who always comes back because you're my ride or die, I appreciate you the most. And I just wanted to say, look, at any point that you don't like what I'm doing, how I'm reading, how I'm interpreting the cards, or you don't like me using my own psychic intuition, you're free to go. Nobody's holding you here as a hostage. And so, it's just been an influx of things that have been getting stuck in my filter, and some of them are making through to the comments. People complaining about the way that I read. And please understand that I'm not here to read for anyone. I'm here to read for me. And if you happen to tune in, it's all good. I'm glad that you do. But I read the way that I read, and I like the way that I read. So please know that I'm not here to offend anybody. But if you're offended by the way I read, I don't really need to hear the bitching in the comments. I don't care if you don't like the way I read. I just don't. Look, I keep telling y'all, I'm a Taurus sun with Sagittarius in my rising. You will test your God before you test me. I don't give a shit if you like the way that I read. But I do give a shit for those of you who give a shit. Thank you so much for giving a shit. So if you don't like it, please just go. Just keep the bitching to a minimum. We're here because it's a place where we can come to learn and speak with each other. Same for the disparaging comments about somebody who's done you wrong. I really don't care about all those disparaging comments. We're here to actually learn something. We're not here to just call out people in the comments. So thank you so much for those of you who abide by all of that kindness and helping each other. And I just love to see when you guys are saying happy birthday to each other and being kind to one another in the comments. So I appreciate those of you who take the time to do that. This is called 10 of Cups Tarot because this is a place of happiness. And if that's not your jam, then please, there are so many really beautiful and wonderful readers that are on the platform. Please go find one that matches your personality. I appreciate that. All right. Other than that, the only thing I want to tell you about is that I do have private reads open. So if you're interested in that, I do private reads that are pre-recorded, and I also do them live. So if you are interested in either one of those things, please look at the pinned comment. There's a pinned comment under every single video that I upload. And so it'll tell you how to get to Hipsy to take a look at my pricing, take a look at my timetable, and you will get a discount for booking live with me. You'll get a discount when you book ahead, anywhere between 5 and 75% off. Let's get to it. Thank you so much for hanging out here. Let's find out what's going on for the next 7 days. Oh, yes. One other thing I want to talk about before we get to you, Aries, is today is 11/11. Today's November the 11th, and today is a cosmic reset. It's not about manifesting unicorns, although today would be the day to do it if you wanted to do that. This day is actually about your alignment. So did you get rid of any old patterns when Taurus moon came along? Because if you're still stuck in the same mind-bending thing, or the thing you can't change your mind about, because if you can't get in alignment internally, your external life is never going to change. So if you can't change your mind, you can't change your life. Your thoughts do predict what your outward actions will be. So when you get in alignment inwardly, your values, your intuition, your desires, whatever that is, things will start to align externally. And that's all I really want to say about that. So happy 11/11. This is the portal. This is the reset for the year. So we are at the beginning again, and you get to make different decisions. One more time. Let's get to it, Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for you, Aries, my fire family. I have a lot of Aries in my chart. In case you didn't figure it out, you might want to rewind and hear all that ranting that I did earlier. Tell me about Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aries. Aries, we have the King of Cups here. We do have the World card. Oh, is that right? So Charlie just said, I'm going to say it. So either somebody's going to say it, or I'm going to stop. You're going to stop hiding something under the surface here. It feels like you have been keeping something to yourself. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to rock the boat. It's really not worth my time, energy, or effort to get into an argument or a fight about my difference of opinion. The World card is here. Somebody here has decided, I'm not keeping quiet anymore. I'm just going to friggin' say it. With my whole chest. Holy crap. I'm just going to say it with my whole chest. Just as I was pulling that card. That's what Charlie said. With my whole chest. Look, if you've never been here before, I'm that kind of crazy. I do have a guide that speaks to me when I do readings. And I do get clairvoyancy and auditory things as well. All right, so we have the Three of Wands. Look, it's coming in the future. For some of you, it's going to be in the next 7 days. For some of you, it'll be in the next 3 weeks. Weeks for me are wands. And we do have an Ace of Cups in the hand of the King. And for me, cups are a month. So it feels like, I always say it is a sneak peek for the next 7 days. And the reason I give you all the timetables is because not all of you are going to come across this video at the same time. And you're not all in the same place in your life. So look, I feel like you're causing a tower coming up, Aries. Everything is shifting, because you are now looking into the future and deciding what you want in your future. And I think the first desire you have, or the thing that you've decided to make a promise to yourself about, is no more holding back. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and everyone else is allowed to feel a kind of way about that. But I don't really care. Because I'm tired of holding it under the surface. I feel like you're going to do it in a very kind way, because the King of Cups will. The King of Cups will always put a beautiful, kind, loving spin on, I love you, but don't be an asshole, right? I feel like that's sort of the energy that you're going to be giving off here. Everything is shifting you into the future. And with the World card, you've come to the end of a chapter of something. And I think it's the King of Cups energy here. It sure is. The Ten of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups. Look, the World card and the Ten of Swords for me is an absolute complete ending. I'm never going back. I can't unsee what I already saw. And so it does feel like there is somebody who I feel is in your environment that possibly on the surface is very kind and compassionate and loving. Somebody who you're very connected to emotionally or energetically, possibly psychically or intuitively. And it feels like there has been codependency possibly, or toxicity in this connection. It feels like somebody here is going to give people the Scorpio face. And it might be in Scorpio season, but I'm just saying that the King of Cups is Scorpio energy. It feels like you usually give your kind, beautiful, compassionate self, but I feel like you're giving the hard-ass self, because we got the World coming here, and it's also fixed energies, right? Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. You've taken a long time, been very strategic with what you're going to say, but I feel like you're just going to say it, and you're not going back. This is, I think, whatever it is that you're about to say, Aries, is going to be something that is going to reset your future. I will say the cosmic reset today, 11/11, right? I feel like it's going to reset your future. And, but in order to reset your future, you must break a connection, or you must be on the outside looking in. I feel like you're not afraid to be on the outside looking in, that you're not afraid to do something that you've never done before in order to get a different result. I feel like you're not afraid to be on the outside or disconnected from the heart space. It feels like somebody here is realizing or having a breakthrough about, you know what, I still have the Ace of Cups in my hand. Regardless of how people feel about me, how I feel about myself is the most important thing. I think this is the light that's gone on for you. It feels like with this sun energy that you've had a breakthrough about the Ace of Cups, that the Ace of Cups isn't only about romantic connections. It's also about the internal self. It's about heart space. It's about how I feel about myself. And I no longer want to be disconnected from the Ace of Cups. And it doesn't matter if I'm in a relationship, if I've got someone in my life who's romantically connected to me, it doesn't really matter. I feel like somebody has realized that everything has got to shift here. I've got to take this cup and keep it for me and make sure that I'm okay with the decisions I make for myself. That's what it feels like here. Now we've got the King of Swords. Look, the King of Swords not fucking around. The King of Swords is facing it head on. The King of Swords is the one who is making the hard decisions and saying it with their whole chest. They're the person who is just being honest and truthful. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm going to try and soften it with the Ace of Cups, but I'm giving you the facts nonetheless, because I've had a breakthrough that I've got to be in order to be in alignment with everything that's outside of me, I first have to be in alignment with everything that's inside of me. And I feel like somebody is getting in alignment with how they speak. Look, you can be the King of Swords and the King of Cups at the same time, whether you're feminine or masculine leaning. The story of these two is, yes, they could be different personalities, but they don't feel like that here. This feels like somebody here is about to give the truth, the honest truth, the facts, and I'm just going to say it and you're not going to like it. And I'm going to do it in the kindest way that I know how, because what's at risk here is how I feel about myself. The truth about the Ace of Cups is it's not always about romantic energies. It's about breakthroughs, about how I feel about me. So it feels like, Aries, that you're going to be disconnecting from someone or something and saying, you know what, you can feel whatever way you got to feel about that, but I also am going to decide how I feel about that. Tell me what the outcome is. We do have the Hanged Man. We have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Look, we have three kings out here. We have the King of Pentacles, we have the King of Cups, and we have the King of Swords. The only one we don't have here is the King of Wands. I feel like you're ready to take action on something and do something independently. It feels like you have reached some sort of a place where you've decided that it's go time. Aries, right, is the King of Wands. And I feel like you've decided it's go time. And what I'm going to say is probably going to cause a tower and a big shift in my life. But I've got to say it, because Aquarius would never defy those odds. Aquarius would always say what's truly on their mind and what they're being going to be honest and truthful, even if it's going to hurt your feelings. So we have the Hanged energy here. The Hanged Man is here. And I feel like you're trying to get a perspective possibly in the next little bit here, because not all of you are going to have this happening at the same time. The King of Pentacles is here and the Ten of Pentacles is here. I think what you're doing is investing in the self, focusing on you, focusing on your stability, on your money, on your job, on your career, on the self, building the kingdom. I think that's what you want to do, because I feel like this is the reset, and it feels like you are resetting the self and saying, you know what, it's time for me to decide what's best for me. So I don't think there's probably a really high chance that whatever decision you make and whatever you're going to say to people, that you're going to have this breakthrough and say it in the sun. Like you're not just going to think it, you're bringing it out verbally. And I feel like there's going to be people who are going to see you as toxic. There's going to be people who are seeing you as the Five of Pentacles, somebody who's not right, someone who feels bad about themselves, but it's the actual opposite of that. So tell me what's coming around the corner for Aries. We have Justice. Look, the Three of Cups and the Queen of Swords is in the reverse. People are going to see you as hard to deal with. Whenever somebody speaks the truth, and look, I'm the Queen of Swords myself. Comes up, it came up in the comments this week, right? I'm just going to say it like it is. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings. When the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, though, the Queen of Swords is somebody who, for the longest time, it was not saying what they wanted to say because they didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to cause arguments. But when the Queen of Swords is in the reverse, it's because I've had it. I've had enough. It's time for me to be happy, Three of Cups. It's time for me to get some justice. I feel like I'm talking to an Aries who possibly has been putting their own needs aside to make sure that everyone else around them feels comfortable. But don't push Aries too far, because Aries will just say, look, this is how it's going to go down, and I've done enough for everyone else. It's time for me to do it for me. Now, I feel like there is some worry about how this is all going to pan out. Honestly, I don't think you're planning it, to be truthful, Aries. I don't think you're planning any of this. I feel, boom, it happens like that because the Tower falls, right? And the World card is here with the Ten of Swords, which tells me it happens when the lights come on. Somebody walks in, flips on the lights, and it's on. That's what it feels like. So it feels like you're going out in a bit of blaze of glory, and people around you are like, has Aries lost their foolish mind? Like, I don't think you have, but I think the people are like thinking, has Aries lost their mind? What's going on? But that's what happens when you push Aries too far. Aries will just let it go for a little bit, and then when I'm done, I'm done. And that's when I make all the plans to do what I'm going to do. Got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We got Leo here. Capricorn and Libra, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. We've got Pisces energy here. All right. Aries, I think you're over it. Whatever it is, somebody's pushed you to your limit. You're over it. Taurus, how are you doing? 11/11 today as I read this. If you didn't hear my blah blah about that, you might want to rewind to the beginning. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus, my bull gang. I hope you're well. Thank you for clicking here. Let's find out what's going on for you this week, the next 7 days, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. And we've got the 4 of Wands. Taurus, I think that you are about to make a decision. I think you're about to make a decision about disconnecting from a group of people, a person. It feels like you need to spend some time with you. The 5 of Pentacles tells me that you've been feeling in lack. Now, it could be for many reasons. We'll clarify that and find out why you're feeling in lack. But I want to say that the fact that you're feeling in lack, I feel like the only thing that you think you can do in order to become more stable or confident in your life is to pause. It feels like you're pausing, and I feel like you're pausing from this group of people. It feels like the people who you're social with, the people who you usually go to their place, they usually come to your place. I feel like in order to get your stability and your confidence back, it's time for you to work on you. You've invested a lot of time in something, and I feel like it's possibly this group of people or your stability. And I feel like it's time for you to go back to that, to go back to the beginning. It's the reset, right? 11/11 is the reset. And I feel like it's time to go back to that. The Hanged Man is here. It tells me that you want to go into a pause to reflect. It feels like you're looking at what you can sacrifice, because I don't think everything that you're doing is working for you. And in order for you to get stable and secure and be more confident in yourself and building you, I feel like you have to get a perspective about what you do from here. So I feel like the 5 of Pentacles is telling me that you're detaching from a group of people or from somebody or something. Could be a situation, or maybe you're just taking a month off of work. It feels like somebody here is needing some time to recalibrate or decide what I'm going to do from here. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the 5 of Swords, and we've got the Strength card. So I feel like it feels like this time in the 5 of Pentacles here, although you will be alone and maybe it'll feel like a little bit of lack, I feel like this time for you is, in the Hanged Man energy, is for you to go inward. For you to go inward, think about what my next move is. The High Priestess is here. Silence, going inward, thinking about what I'm going to do for me at this point. Maybe doing more meditation, maybe doing more prayer, maybe you're journaling more. It feels like you're going inward. And the 5 of Swords tells me that you're tired of compromising with people external to you. The 5 of Swords is fundamental differences. It's also, I know that I'm right with what I'm doing, so I don't think I really need your input. It feels like this is something that you've had to try to find your courage to face. It feels like somebody here is finally facing the courage to hold back from arguments and fights that concern fundamental differences. Taurus, I feel like you've been, maybe not a lot, but maybe a little bit, you've been compromising yourself or your thought patterns or what life really means to you in order to appease the masses. Yeah, come to my house, I'll feed and water y'all. Yeah, let's go out. I feel like you are changing your mind about something, which doesn't happen very often for Taurus, but it feels like the 5 of Swords tells me that at any cost, you need to be courageous enough to go inward. And if that means detaching or disconnecting from whatever it is that you need to, there's something here that's really loud in your life that I feel like you need to just turn off. Like you need to switch the volume off for a minute, just so you can figure out what you're doing next. We've got the Judgment card in the reverse. We've got the Ace of Swords. Okay. I feel like whenever you speak up, Taurus, about something, someone's judging you for your words. People are misjudging whatever you're trying to make clear. So I feel like somebody here is speaking the truth on something, or when someone says something to you that doesn't align with who you are, it doesn't align with your intuition or your values, I feel like they see you as a problem. They're misjudging you, Taurus, here about the clarity that you're giving them. And I feel like you're trying to find the courage to say, look, if you don't like how I speak or the values and intuition and desires that I carry, then possibly it's time for us to just disconnect, Five of Pentacles, and not talk about things for a bit. I think that you're regrouping. It feels like with the Emperor energy here, Taurus, that you're regrouping, that you're staying in control with your words. I feel like you're staying in control of your words. Let them misjudge you. I think that's sort of the reading here is let them misjudge you. Keep your values intact. Make sure that you'll die on the hill for whatever it is that you believe to be true at the time, which time you decide if or when it's feasible to change your mind. But I feel like you're okay moving on. We got 5 swords and 1 is 6. You're okay moving on, moving forward, because ultimately this is what you need. You're the person who needs to be in control of you, in control of your life. And I think that you just want to be in control of whatever happens around you. Like if there's going to be people in your life who are going to misjudge you or try and change your mind, this misjudgment here feels like someone is saying to you that your opinion about how you function in terms of your intuition and your values is wrong. Somebody is trying to push you or strong arm you into changing your mind about something you know is right. We've got the Hermit. You know it's right because you already gotten your answer. So I don't think you're sad about pulling away. I think you're like, yeah, I'm good. We got 2 5s here. Something is happening soon for some of you. When I see more than 1 5 in a reading, for me, that is quick change. What's coming in the outcome here? What's the outcome of this? We've got the Page of Pentacles. We've got the 6 of Cups. We've got the Chariot. I feel like this is happening with people that you've known for a really long time. Taurus, I feel like people have forgotten your station, if that makes sense. I feel like they have forgotten that you are in charge of you, that you have wisdom. It's taken you a really long time, feminine or masculine, it's taken you a really long time to get to this place where you're the emperor. So that might mean that you're carrying everything in your life and you no longer require external validation from people who have not reached the emperor energy. So I feel like you're the one in the arena getting your ass kicked, as Brene Brown would say, and you are not open to their feedback unless they're somebody who's also in the emperor's energy. So I feel like you have people around you that are not in the emperor's energy that are trying to tell you to change your values and whatever it is that you think and what means the most to you, maybe your spiritual outlook on things. But we've got the Chariot, the 6 of Cups is here. I feel like you're okay to move on to something different for now. And maybe it's not forever, but the Chariot is here and you are coming into alignment with self. You've decided, I'm going to discipline myself, my emotions. I'm not going to go crazy on people. I'm not even going to probably fight them on whatever they think about me. Let them think what they're going to think about me. But I feel like we're talking about people who have been in your life for a while. And the Page of Pentacles tells me, you assumed it was swimming under the surface because you felt it, High Priestess, but now it's coming to the surface, right? It's coming to the surface here with the 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, and you've decided, no, I know who I am. I know I have the wisdom. I've learned a lot of lessons in this life, and I'm not taking your feedback. If you're not in the Emperor energy, don't try and tell me who to be. Well, around the corner, we've got the 3 of Wands. What's in the future is the 8 of Cups. There it is. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Taurus, I think that all of this is going down because it is divine timing. This is destiny. It's time for you to recalibrate and realize that possibly you were in a position where you thought, are they trying to lead me off the path? Is somebody trying to get me to be who they think they, put me in a box of who they think I am? And I think that you have just realized it. The 3 of Wands is what's happening in the future. the future is expanding for you, and I feel like what's in the future is the Eight of Cups here. It feels to me like you are going to detach from a group of people, maybe from your job, maybe you're taking a month of holidays. You've got to recalibrate or rethink something. I've got to focus on me and find out what it is that I need to do, because I've been putting a whole lot of effort, time, and energy into this, keeping things stable, and I think it's time to sacrifice something. With the Wheel of Fortune here, that is expansion, right? It's expansion. It's things that are recalibrating, going back to number one. This is card number 10, right? It's the cycle that's renewing itself. We have the Death card, and something has to leave to make room for something that is new. So I feel like, yes, the Emperor's chair can be a lonely place, because not everybody's going to agree with the decisions that the Emperor will make for the Empire, but it is what it is. I'm just going to say, Taurus, it's not like you haven't been on your own before. It's not like you haven't pulled away from a group in order to recalibrate. It feels like something here is transforming, and I think that something is you. And I feel like it's about to happen really soon, because I feel like you've been waiting long enough for stability in this group. Force of Swords, you've been waiting long enough for emotional things to heal, and I think that you're over it. I think it's time for you to be brave and move forward into whatever your next path is. And like I said, it doesn't mean that you have to just cut everybody out and move along. Although that kind of is a Taurus thing, right? You give everybody so many chances over so many years, and then finally you're just like, no, you can't treat me like that anymore. I'm not saying that that's true for all of you. All I'm saying is somebody here has realized that somebody here in your group or at your workplace, or somebody's testing you, right? Testing your boundaries. And I think they just hit a boundary. We've got Virgo energy, Aries. We've got Scorpio, Virgo and Pisces. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius. We've got Leo, more Pisces energy. Cancer, more Pisces. And we've got Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. All right, all right. Let's find out what's going on for Gemini. Tell me about Gemini in the next 7 days, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini, please. Tell me about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini on this day of 11/11. Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. The Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse, Gemini. Ooh, we got the Tower. Ooh, I think you're delivering some news here. You're making a bold move here, my friend, and it feels like with this Ace of Pentacles that you've decided that you can't put any more time, effort, or energy into something that is not working out for you. You're about to make a really big pivot, Gemini. That's what it feels like. The Queen of Wands is here making big, bold moves and doesn't care if things fall to the ground. I don't care if it causes a tower. It's time for me to shift. It's time for me to make a bold move. I feel like this is a choice that you're making to stop stop investing time, effort, energy, money into a situation. Maybe it's a job. Pentacles can be any of that. Can be your workplace, can be your home, can be your relationship. It can be anything, really. Abundance, right? Maybe you've stopped topping up somebody's credit card or putting money in their account. Whatever it is, it feels like this Tower energy is this realization, and that it's time for me to pivot. It's time for... Somebody said in the comments, and now I'm hearing it in my own head. I'm hearing Ross yell, pivot! If you know, you know, if you watch Friends. The Queen of Wands, yeah. So I feel like you're making a decision. Now, for some of you, this is a decision that you're making about a relationship that you've put enough time, effort, and energy, and it feels like you're now pulling back your energy or deciding, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it does feel like this is either a group of people or a person that you have known for a very long time. There's nostalgia here. There's emotional depth and nostalgia that's been created here. And it feels like you're not sure about where this is going. Was that all an illusion? I think that's what the Seven of Cups is saying. The Queen of Cups has her back to the Seven of Cups. It's like, now I'm focused on my own cup. Wait, was that all an illusion? like I put all this time, effort, and energy in here, and I don't feel like I'm really getting much out of it. Somebody's turned their back on me, and maybe it's a realization. The Tower could be a realization of, wait a second here. Tell me what the Tower is. We've got, yeah, it's a realization. Yep, that's exactly what it is. The Knight of Pentacles is here. There's no more reassessment that I can do to talk myself into whatever someone else has been willfully taking from me, but only because you've been offering it. I'm just going to say, Gemini, as long as you're going to keep offering it, the takers will always take, and that's why the givers have to have boundaries. I feel like you just hit a wall. I feel like you just hit a boundary here with the Knight of Pentacles being in the reverse and the Ace of Pentacles being in the reverse. It feels like a decision has been made to regain your stability here. The Judgment card is the decision to do a 180 and take a leap of faith in a different direction. I feel like you are doing this because the Lovers is here. You have a choice, and I feel like your choice, you're choosing to make a big, bold move forward. Tell me more about this. We've got the Three of Swords. We've got the Strength card. The reason, and the Queen of Pentacles, the reason that you have not made this move or said this thing or done this thing up till now is because you didn't want to hurt anybody. You didn't want to rock the boat. You didn't want to break anybody's heart. You didn't want to disappoint anybody. But I feel like that's the reason you've been holding back from really letting loose and saying what you want to say. The Queen of Pentacles is, I just want to keep things steady. I want to keep the relationship steady. I want to keep the money flowing. I just want to keep things the way they are. The Queen of Pentacles is always going to multiply everything. And so I feel like you're the person who either has been bringing all the financial and material needs to the relationship, or you're a person who has decided that just to go along to get along. I just don't want to argue. I don't want to fight. So I'm going to hold back because the Three of Swords is here. And I know that if I don't hold back, it's going to cause arguments and fights and angst. And I think that you are at this place now where there's just no other excuses you can come up with because you've looked at it long and hard, gone over all the analytics, and there's no more reassessment that can be done here. Nope. You're getting off the horse. That's what it feels like. This is my last stop. I'm getting off the horse. So the choice to say something comes along with a consequence, which is breaking the heart of someone else. We've got the Seven of Wands. And so it's a time that you are finally standing up for yourself, regardless of what the fallout feels like for somebody else. It does feel like that you've been putting in a lot of emotional time, effort, and energy into a friendship, a loveship, a group of people. It feels like you've been here for a while. You've known these people for a while. You've been at the job forever. Whatever it is, it feels like that you are making a decision this week. I think that's actually what your weekly reading was about last week. It feels like you're making a decision this week that's not going to be a popular decision. The outcome is the Moon, the Emperor, and the Wheel of Fortune. But when is the correct time to take control? So I feel like you have not decided when you're going to do it. You've decided that you are going to do it. It does feel like you're pulling back your support. I'm going to say whether it's financial support, emotional support, maybe it's material wealth, maybe it's at the workplace. It feels like you're pulling back your support. Maybe no more. You're saying, don't even schedule me for overtime. I'm not helping on that project. I'm not working for free anymore. It feels like you're making a really big line in the sand. The Emperor is here taking back control. I'm the Emperor. I'm the one that's controlling my empire, and it's time for me to move forward. It feels like, though, with the Moon energy here, that things are not as they seem. You've not led on or given any indications that you're about to take back your control. I feel like you're waiting for the universe to tell you when. When is go time? That's what it feels like here. The Wheel of Fortune tells me that you are going back to the beginning, or you're recalibrating. Look, all these readings seem to be about the 11:11, this cosmic reset that we're in right now. And so when the portals come up, right, this one is 11:11. It's not about manifesting your unicorns, but it's all about alignment. And I feel like this is exactly what's going on. You've decided, this is how I'm going to align myself, and I'm going to start with pulling back my energy, my emotional, maybe love energy. Maybe it's a relationship we're talking about, because it almost, oh, okay, yeah, Charlie's just showing me the water is pulling in. It feels like the tsunami is about to show up, okay? I'm not predicting there's going to be a tsunami anywhere, but it feels like this particular tsunami, because I'm looking at pulling back of the water, you understand, right? Somebody's pulling back emotion, and then boom, it's going to come forward and destroy everything. Tell me what's around the corner for Gemini. We've got the devil energy. We've got the King of Cups. There it is. There's the tsunami, my friend. It feels like everything that has been holding you back, everything that has been codependent on you, it feels like everything that you've been giving, it feels like you've been really investing a lot of time, effort, and energy, or money, material wealth, time, whatever it is, you've been investing a lot of it, and now what you're doing is you're pulling it back because the Nine of Pentacles. Now it's time for me to keep it for me. Now it's time for the King of Cups to show up. I'm not giving you any more of my emotional energy on the surface because you misused it. Somebody mishandled you or misused it here. Now, you don't know what's going to happen. This is the moment of alchemy. This is all going to happen at the moment of alchemy when you finally make the decision to move forward with velocity. Like you're just here in this Queen of Swords energy, putting up your boundaries and then just saying it. And that's the decision that's going to happen in this moment of alchemy with Temperance. It's going to end up allowing you to exhale, allowing you to be in balance, allowing you to come to this place of this moment of clarity and this moment of, whew, I finally just did it. Because I feel like it's been, this Wheel of Fortune tells me that we've been on the way to the Wheel of Fortune for a while. It's been building. You're about ready to take charge of something here, and other people are not even aware that the tsunami is about to show up, because not a lot of people will notice that the water's being pulled away from the shoreline, because they're very engaged with other things. So we do have Taurus energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We have Virgo and Pisces. Sorry, no. We've got Leo, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, more Capricorn, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius, Aries. We've got more Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio energy, and some Sagittarian energy here. All right, Cancer. Tell me about Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, Cancer. This is your reading for the next 7 days, friend, whenever you get this. I'm doing this on 11/11, November the 11th. The reset, the cosmic reset for you. What's coming up here? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Ooh, okay. The Six of Swords is here. Something is already in motion. You can't stop it. Feels like, oh, yeah. So, okay, yeah. So I'm clairvoyant, and Charlie is showing me, I think it's Hoover Dam, and there's a crack and water is sort of trickling in. That's what I was seeing when I put down the Six of Swords, and then all of a sudden the Chariot showed up, and that's boom. That's all the water, right? That's a breakthrough, or finally I'm in this alignment with myself. I've got this discipline now, and it's time for me to move forward. It feels like that the illusion was that things were not moving, but they were moving. It feels like you were always making this decision. You were already in transit, but it feels like the Chariot tells me, boom, you finally make the decision. And the illusion was that things weren't moving. It's not like you just wake up one day. It feels like you just wake up one day and make a decision, but I don't think that you did. I feel like you've been dreaming about it. I feel like you're making a choice of some sort. We've got the Seven of Swords. Yeah, it feels like it was even hidden from you, I'm going to say. The Seven of Swords is, what was going on. I feel like this is telling me you were dreaming about it and maybe not remembering it. You were getting downloads from the universe. The Seven of Swords is telling me that you couldn't see it. It was under the surface. And the Seven of Cups is the dream state for me. So it feels like you're about to make a decision. You can see she's there holding 2 cups with 5 above her head. The decision that I'm going to make, is it the right one for me? The Chariot energy is here. I feel like this was always in motion, because what you didn't know is that you kept getting downloads from the universe that you couldn't see. So it seems sudden to you that you get in the Chariot and go. But I feel like this is something that has been sort of brewing under the surface for you. You've been thinking about it, getting downloads about it, and to you it seems sudden that you make a move toward the future here. But I don't think it is sudden. Tell me about the Six of Swords, please. I feel like for the longest time here that you've already been in motion with this. The Nine of Pentacles is here. We've got the Five of Wands, and we've got the Four of Swords. It does feel like you were working something out in the dream state. The Five of Wands is indecision. What if there's too much competition? It feels like the Four of Swords is here to say, we're working that out. I'm working that out in the self, right? It does feel like somebody here, I could be talking to you about starting a business or getting better stability financially. It feels like there's something here that you wanted to do, but maybe felt like you didn't have the courage to do. But once the Chariot shows up, you finally have the courage to put your feelings aside and just go for it. The Nine of Pentacles is something that you've been working on or trying to work out for a while, because the Five of Wands is here, and it's like you were in indecision, but I feel like the decision had already been made, but only in the ethers. Do you understand? It feels like you had this decision already figured out intuitively. It just took time for your values to align, your internal values to align, so you could produce this in the external world, Pentacles. Right? And so I feel like you are doing that now, or you're about to do that. We've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Wands. Yep. It feels like you are now ready, or now feeling excited about investing emotionally in something. And it doesn't have to be love. We can invest emotionally in a job, or in a project, in a passion project, or something that we built ourselves and put a lot of our time, effort, and energy into. So it feels like with the Page of Wands, there is this little spark of excitement all of a sudden, that it's time for me to invest. It's like you feel like you woke up and boom, the answer was there. But really the psyche, or the 5D, you were working it out in the 5D for a long time. It feels like your Queen of Cups energy, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, right? Your Queen of Cups energy was working it out in the 5D while you were waiting for it to appear as tangible, or something like a touch, taste, hold in the 3D. And I feel like you do get this realization, or this excitement of, okay, now's the time to invest. Whether that is investing in relationship or business or the self, right? The Nine of Pentacles could be that as well. We do have the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles. There's enough reassessment that's gone on here. And I feel like all the reassessment went on in the 5D. It feels like somebody is just decided, I'm just going to slow down and make the decision to create something that's going to give me stability in the 3D here. So the Knight is holding a pentacle. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Two pentacles are here. And it does feel like somebody here has made the decision made a solid decision to go forward with something that you're feeling really excited about. It could be a relationship, because the Queen is here. It could be something intuitive that you've been feeling inwardly, because the Queen is here. But it also could be external to you, because the Nine of Pentacles is here. Tell me what the outcome is. What is the outcome, please, for Cancer? We've got the Three of Pentacles. Yep, you're going to build it, friend. You have come to this place where it's time to pull out the blueprint. It feels like the King of Swords is the one who's been going over all the details, making the plans, figuring out things. It feels like it's been behind the scenes, because the Seven of Wands is here. And the Seven of Wands has boundaries, right? You're not allowing people to cross the boundary. I feel like you were working behind the scenes here on finding truth and clarity and facts, and what is it that I need to build my foundation. Three of Pentacles. You're getting clear on what was necessary in order to move forward with, maybe building a new community, or building a new business idea, something that you knew needed to build the foundation before you could allow people to see what was going on here. So it feels like you have been thinking about something or building on something behind the scenes, building yourself mentally toward finally showing people what it is that you've been working on. We've got the Four of Cups. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. And we've got the Empress. I feel like you've been working on yourself. You've been working on yourself, working on abundance, working on a business idea, working on a project. It feels like somebody has been doing all of the all of the grunt work, I'll say, behind the scenes. It's like there's a problem within the office and it's causing us to bleed money. And now I've got a project or a situation that I'm going to present to my boss and say, this is how we can stop the money leak. Or it feels like it's something to do with you working on yourself so much that you've gained enough wisdom to step into the Empress energy. You might be showing everybody the Empress. Whether you're feminine or masculine, Taurus and Libra, one's feminine energy, one's masculine energy. It feels like somebody here is birthing a new cycle, a new project. You could be someone who's pregnant. You could be feminine, right? Or maybe not feminine, but a woman. We have the Four of Cups here. It feels like there is a little bit of a worry that there will be rejection, that somebody here is not going to agree with all the work that you've put in. But I feel like you're pretty confident, the Empress is, that you have gone over all the details. The Eight of Pentacles being here tells me you're the subject matter expert on something, whether that's yourself or how you got to this wisdom. It feels like you still have a worry that it's going to be rejected by other people, but the Empress doesn't really care, because the Empress is like, if you don't like my idea, that's cool. I've done all the work, right? The King of Swords is here. I've done all the work of the details, and I know that it's going to work, so you can be on the bus or under it. That's totally up to you. The Queen of Wands being here says, because I'm making a bold move, and either you're going to make it with me or I'm going to do it alone, because I have everything that I need in order to do it alone. All right. Cancer, we've got Virgo energy here. We've got Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We've got Sagittarius energy, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Virgo is on the bottom of the deck. Hang on a second here. All right, here we go. Let's look at you, Leo. Got a little warm in here. We're in that time of year where I don't know whether to put the heat on or turn it off. Let's take a look at you, Leo. For the next 7 days, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It's reading on 11/11 for you. Let's find out about Leo. Tell me about Leo, please. How are you doing, my fire family? I hope you're well. Thanks for clicking here. All right. Ooh, the sun shows up. Okay, this week is going to be a good week for you. Something here you're going to see clearer than you saw before, and it's going to make you kind of happy. Something here, it feels like you're making a decision. You're having a breakthrough here, Leo, and making a decision. Yeah, Two of Wands here. Making a decision to take action is what it feels like here. So the Seven of Cups is in the reverse, and when the Seven of Cups is in the reverse, there's no more illusion. There's no more reason for me to think it out. I feel like I have my answer. And so we have the Two of Wands, which is a place that I feel like you were stuck at for a really long time, but it feels like you now have enough light, or you've had a realization or a breakthrough here, that it's time for you to get some type of victory. You know what it does feel like here? I'm just going to say it feels like the lights have gone on. So it feels like you're coming out of some sort of a dark night of the soul. The Six of Wands is about coming from the fight, coming back from the war. So you've come through some sort of a hard cycle in your life, or a hard situation. And it feels like you're about to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's not a train. I'm just going to say, finally, and I don't think that anything external to you was holding you back. I think it was internal, to be honest, because of the Seven of Cups being here. It feels like there was a decision you had to make, a clear decision. You had to see something clearly in order to be able to move away from the Two of Wands. So the place where you were stuck at a crossroads here, not really sure what to do. But the 6 and the 2 are 8. It tells me that you are now that you can see what's going on the road ahead here, it feels like you're making a decision to move really quickly into the future. Tell me about what you're seeing under the sun. We've got the 6 of Pentacles. We've got the 10 of Swords. Oh, okay. And we've got the Strength card in the reverse. So you know what it is? I feel like you finally are gaining the courage or the momentum to just say, look, you can't breadcrumb me anymore. It's self-respect is what it is. It's like I'm back on the horse. I'm back on the horse. I'm back on the bike. It feels like somebody here was, and please understand, Leo, that I don't think you ever shy away from anything. Look, I live with a Leo. It's my kid. He never shies away from anything. But I feel like it's almost like a pullback, like you pull the energy back and then you have momentum again. It feels like you have to think it out or make a realization or get clear about something. And in the clarity, when the sun comes up and you have the breakthrough, you realize that there is somebody here who has a lot of time, effort, energy, or money, and they're not sharing. Or you've been sharing a lot and they've really been giving you nothing. It feels like that's what's coming to an end. It's a realization that I need to get out of this dark place and I need to go home. I need to go to the place I call home. I need to get my victory or my success, but it's going to take a lot of courage. So I feel like this week might be the week with strength in the reverse, where you're trying to gain momentum or courage to finally say no. Just no, that's it. So I feel like this is the week that you do it. And because the sun is here, it's the realization, oh, okay, that's what was going on here. It's like something here gives you the realization that this cycle cannot go on any further than it already has. The Queen of Swords is here to say, how did I let that shit go on for so long? It feels like the World card is here. You've hit the end of the cycle, but this is a milestone for you. This is an achievement because with the Queen of Swords here, it tells me that you're standing up for yourself or that you are liberating yourself from a situation that had you stuck. I feel like you're finally now speaking the truth, but you're speaking the truth in a way that is logical, and that you are letting somebody know that it's like you're saying it as you walk out the door, is what it feels like here. The Chariot energy is here. It is emotional, but emotions are being kept under the surface. The Queen of Swords likes to keep it head over heart. I'm just going to give you the crib notes and I'm going to give you all the facts and the honesty that I can give you. But please know it's for my own harmony. I'm trying to keep myself in alignment. I'm trying to keep myself disciplined. I'm trying to keep my emotions disciplined. I'm not bringing emotions into this. I feel like you're really sort of giving someone it doesn't even feel like an ultimatum. It feels like you've drawn a line in the sand because the Queen of Swords has that sword as a boundary. So it feels like you're setting a boundary with somebody here. Is what it feels like. You're setting a boundary and then you're wandering away from that boundary and you're saying, you know what? I'm not doing anything but giving you the honest truth anymore. I'm not trying to make things easy for you, soft for you. It feels like you're finally releasing this, you're no longer holding back with the Strength card in the reverse, and you're finally releasing feeling guilty about doing that. I just got to set a boundary with you. Got the 10 of Cups. And I don't think you're doing it for any wrong reason. I think you're doing it for your happiness. I feel like you're doing it so you have stable emotional elation or joy in your life. I feel like you need to detach or leave somewhere to get out of the way so you can feel your feelings again. It feels like whatever this is, it could be a job or a relationship or whatever it is for you, it feels like it got you to a place where you weren't allowed to show your feelings on the surface. You got into this energy of the Queen of Swords, but understand that I feel like this, whatever this is, was supposed to forge you into the Queen of Swords. I'm looking at, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a sword that's being put in the fire and then hammered on, right? So I feel like you were supposed to be forged to be this Queen of Swords. I feel like it was a lesson or a bit of wisdom that you needed. When the Chariot shows up, it's like no hard feelings, but it's time for me to go. There is a victory out there and I need it, and it's momentum. It's a big push forward toward my happiness or my joy. Tell me what is on the outcome is the Knight of Pentacles, the Judgment card, and the Fool in Leo fashion. This explains who you are really at your core, that I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to look at all of the analytics. I'm going to reassess the situation. I'm probably going to let these shenanigans go on for a while before I draw my line in the sand. But when the Judgment card shows up, you're like, That's it. I have to go. I have to make this decision. It's going to change my life to go in a different direction, but I need to do it. The Fool is here. I don't care how stupid I look. I don't care if I fall and scrape my knees. I don't really care. It feels like you're excited to finally be free of something. I'm going to say that the detachment of this, what you thought happiness was, when you didn't realize that actually detaching, the realization of the breakthrough is that I needed to close the chapter in order to be happy. So it does feel like you are leaving somewhere to go somewhere else. This is something very different than you've ever done. Feels like it's a 180, or you've just turned around on the path and decided to take a different direction. But you waited for a really long time. You took your time making this decision. Around the corner, we've got Justice, we've got the Moon energy, and we've got the Empress energy. So I feel like although you didn't know how you were going to get there, that you got there. It feels like you will get there. So it could be the next 7 days. For some of you, it could be longer than that, right? The Moon energy is Pisces. It is Cancer. It could be a little bit further in the distance for you. I feel like this whole situation has, when I see the Queen of Swords and the Empress on the table at the same time, for me as a reader, this was the hardest lesson for you to learn in order to step into your Empress energy. So whether you are the feminine or the masculine, the Empress is both. And this is stability. This is wisdom. This is, I know what to do. I can do it on my own. I'm creating boundaries because other people are trying to get me to do what they want me to do in order to benefit them. And that's the Six of Pentacles. I gave you everything that I gave you, and you didn't give me anything back, and that was a choice. And now I am releasing that, or I'm letting that go, or it was painful for me, but I'm just going to let it go. And I'm going to stop holding back on my own life. I'm just going to keep moving forward. So the Moon energy is here. Things are not as they seem. And I think that what people don't understand is underneath the surface here, that you've become emotionally harmonious with the self. You're like, I've made my decision. Everything is in order. Something is about to be restored, and I think what's to be restored is this Empress energy here. We've got the King of Wands, and now you can move forward. The King of Wands is just always going to go get what they want. That's your energy, right? Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy. The King of Wands is always going to get what they want. There is not a damn thing that will stand between the King of Wands and what they need or what they want. And so I feel like you're going to get some sort of abundance or more wisdom, whatever it is. You're getting in the chariot and you're going. It's time for you to go. I think it took you a long while to make this decision because I feel like there's a heart space attached to it. A heart space, but I think ultimately you came to a realization that I need to be happy on the inside. I need to have I need to be okay to be happy within me without getting the external validation from other people. Nines are about doing it by yourself, building it by yourself. And I think what you realized here is I'm going to be happy regardless of who's in my life. It's me that I have to live with. And I got to stop holding myself back or overthinking things when it comes to my heart space. I feel like, because look, I've never met a Leo who wasn't, a person who took their time, because they're giving other people around them a chance to correct their behaviors. And Leo is incredibly overgiving, will always overgive until which point, and if a Leo pulls back their energy on you, you know that you've erred greatly. I gotta say, because Leo is very giving, and once they're done, they're done. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, Libra and Taurus, Pisces and Cancer, more Cancer energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, more Aries energy, Virgo and Pisces, more Virgo, and we've got Leo energy on the bottom of the deck. All right. Virgo, let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy 11/11 as I do this reading. This is the reset, the cosmic reset for you here. Are you in alignment with the self on the inside? Because if you are, things on the outside are about to come into alignment for you. Let's find out what's going on for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Star. Something here is coming into balance. It feels like it could be that you are feeling hopeful about something this week. tell me more about Virgo. We've got the Empress. Okay. We've got the Six of Wands. And we have the Six of Pentacles. I feel like you're having some sort of a victory this week. It feels like you're doing the victory lap. And it feels like for some of you, it could be about abundance. So it could be about money. It could be about efforts that you've put into something. It does feel like stability or wisdom. It feels like somebody here has learned who they can give to and who they can't give to, or who they want to give to. It feels like this is a situation where you have realized that maybe the way that you were giving to others with your time, efforts, energy, or money was very out of balance. And you're bringing that back into balance, I feel, with the Empress energy here. There is wish fulfillment. There's hope here. This is healing energy with the Star. It feels like everybody wants a little piece of you. That's what it feels like, Virgo. Everybody's asking for a little piece of you. Look, you can overgive in terms of your service. And I feel like you have been doing that, but I think that it's put you out of balance, I'm going to say. That you've been giving way more to your community than you've been giving to your own stability, and that it's time for you to heal that, bring it back into balance is what it feels like here. On the Star, right, she's got 1 foot in the water, one foot on the earth, and she's very balanced in the way she's giving her emotional energy. So I feel like that's what you're doing, is you're bringing things into balance this week because of wisdom. And I feel like a lot of people are knocking at your door, or wanting your time, or wanting your energy. We have the Moon energy. We have the Queen of Swords. And we have the Page of Cups. Look, I feel like you're setting boundaries here this week is what it looks like. You're setting boundaries this week because I feel like you really are hoping to find your balance. It feels like what people don't see, the things that they don't see. So we've got the Moon energy here. Things are not as they seem. And I feel like you've come to a realization, or possibly it might even surprise you, that you've got to draw a line somewhere. You've got to liberate yourself or speak out loud, right? The Queen of Swords is the one who is up at the podium, the one who's given the monologue, the one who is just going to say it as it is and be very honest and truthful and bring all the facts. And I feel like this has got to be a new start for you. The good news is you're putting the boundaries in place. The bad news for everyone else is you're putting in the boundaries. And so I feel like a lot of people have been asking for your time, efforts, energy, and money because the Empress is here and is very abundant. And I feel like people see you as like an ATM, or they see you as someone who has like an unending amount of energy, or an unending amount of compassion or kindness or love. And I feel like you're putting in the boundary because it feels like it's becoming a dark place for you. You're giving too much of yourself. And it's time to stop doing that. The Page of Cups can be a surprise, right? It can be a surprise or a shock. And it could be a surprise or a shock to everyone else because they didn't see it coming, that you're the one standing here now putting a line in the sand, right? The Queen is holding up the boundary with the swords, but it's also saying, come on in if you want to talk to me. But please know that I'm just going to be honest with you about what I have left for energy, because I feel like you've realized that you had been out of balance, and the Queen of Swords is Libra. So I feel like you're trying to get your world back in balance, or get yourself back in balance. We've got the Devil, the Tower. That's what you're doing here. What you're doing is you're breaking away from codependency. I feel like you're very giving and very kind of your time and your services, and how you treat people. And I feel like you've come to a realization that you've created codependency. Now, unhealed, this would be an okay thing for you to do, that you like when people come to you and make you feel important because they ask you for everything. But I feel like it comes to a place where it becomes a burden. it becomes an attachment. It becomes a place that you can't let go of. And so when the Tower shows up, the Tower is here always for mercy. And although it's a hard thing to do, it's going to be very emotional. It's going to cause a lot of tumultuous emotions to go on around you, but I feel like you are slipping into this King of Cups energy because it's time for you to stay stable in the storm. Let them feel how they're gonna feel. People are gonna feel a type of way about you putting up a boundary and saying, no, I can only give you a little bit of my time. No, I'm not doing that for you. No, I can't do that for you any longer, because I feel like it's become too much. Tell me about the Tower here. We've got the 6 of Cups, we've got the 7 of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. It feels like an offering of your time, efforts, energy, or money, and it feels as though people are abusing your kindness. They're trying to get away with, look, I've been your friend forever, or look, I'm your mother, or look, I'm your sister. Wouldn't you do it for a best friend? Like, it feels like people have been trying to get away with this 7 of Swords here with the Ace of Pentacles, you giving them abundance by sort of making you feel guilty a little bit. I think that you finally hit the Tower. You hit the wall and everything shifts. And I feel like although it's going to be emotional for everyone around you, I think it's really important that you stay sturdy in the storm. Tell me what the outcome is here for Virgo. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the 9 of Cups, and we've got the High Priestess. Look, we could be even talking about someone that you're dating or someone that you have a romantic connection to, because the Knight of Cups is here. Look, maybe you are connected to or created a codependent financial or emotional codependency with the person you're dating. They just automatically expect you to buy things for them. And when Virgo gives it as a gift, it is just that, but you've created an expectation with a person or people around you that have known you for a while that, you know, they almost are annoyed with you when you decide to pull back your energy and get back into alignment with yourself. So I feel like it's because you've created codependency. I feel like in order to get back into alignment, you pulled back your emotional energy. And the High Priestess is one that's in silence, right? So it feels like, you know, we can see the King here. You can see the tumultuous water around the King while the King stays sturdy and stable on the throne. And I feel like pulling back your emotional energy, whether it's romantic or otherwise, is what brings you into alignment this week here, Virgo. And I think that I'm not telling you to do this. I think that you're already looking at the situation like, wow, this has really gotten out of hand. She just expects I'm just going to pay for her nails. Or he just expects that I'm just going to show up looking like, you know, $1 million to the dinner that his boss has put on because he just wants me to be there and he doesn't really care if I had plans anyway. Like, it feels like somebody here is taking advantage of your goodness or your kindness or your ability to be there for them. They just expect it now. Excuse me. We've got the 2 of Wands. We've got the Strength card. And we've got the Page of Swords. Yeah, you're planning to hold back is what you're doing. You're planning to hold back your energy. And I think you know what you're going to do because you're smart like this, Virgo. You're going to pull back your energy and then you're going to observe. And that's exactly how you figure out who the people are that are around you. When you start pulling back your energy, your time, your efforts, or your money from people who are codependently attached from you, they hit a tower. And all of a sudden they start demonizing you, right? The devil is here. They start demonizing you, or they start saying, you never really loved me, or you don't really like me, or you're not really my friend. You start to observe what happens when you plan to pull back your energy. And I think you're already in that stage of pulling back your energy. Look, this is what's on the table for you. With some of them, when you pull back your energy, which is the 5 of Swords. It feels like some people are going to be argumentative. They're going to be verbally abusive, and other people are just going to move away from the boundaries and never come back because this King of Swords is making decisions and taking care of it head on. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nope. I've created a boundary and you're going to have to work with that boundary. Sorry for you. Some of you are going to have to be in the Five of Pentacles. You're going to have to learn to make your own money. You're going to have to learn to take care of yourself. Or you're going to have to ask somebody else for help because I'm tapped out. That's what it feels like here. We've got Aquarius energy. We've got Libra and Taurus here. We've got Leo. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, more Scorpio and Capricorn. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Leo, Pisces, Cancer, and Aquarius energy. All right. Tell me about Libra. Libra, you had a very interesting reading yesterday. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Happy 11/11, my friends. We're back at the Cosmic Reset. Right? The beginning of, and the Cosmic Reset is because 11/11 is usually when people start noticing that number, it's the beginning of their awakening. And so this is more of, even if you've already awakened and you've been going through many ascensions, this is really about getting in alignment with the self, right? When you get your values, your intuition, and your desires internally, when all of that is in alignment, then things in your external world begin to align. But it all depends on whether you can get into alignment internally or not. Let's find out what's going on with Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. We've got the Nine of Cups is in the reverse. Disillusionment. I thought this was going to go better than it's actually going. Tell me more. Not really feeling in alignment with something here. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords. And we've got the Chariot. Okay, it feels like somebody here is like, what just happened? I thought it was all going really great. What just happened? That's what it feels like. So with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, to me, it's disillusionment. Something's not going as good as you thought it was. Maybe this isn't in alignment, and I thought it was. It feels like with the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, that somebody feels like, what just happened here? Why is it all of a sudden become surface? How come we're now on the surface and we're not digging deep? It feels like somebody has stopped giving you their energy, time, efforts, or money. The Ace of Pentacles is here. I thought things were beginning, I thought we planted a seed. I thought things were going really good, but then the Seven of Swords tells me silence. Silence, and things were moving toward a goal, and I don't feel like it's moving that way anymore. It feels like all of a sudden somebody's buried their emotions or isn't showing them. It feels like the Seven of Swords is giving me a little bit of this energy, is that maybe somebody who was possibly showing you emotions has buried them and is not showing you their emotions, or is not being as connected to you as they were. Chariot energy is Cancer, and Cancer tends to keep things under the surface, but it is it's emotional, and I think that we're going the wrong way. That's what it feels like, because the Chariot is facing toward the reading instead of facing into the future. It's like things are going backwards. You're like, I thought we were in a different spot, in a different place. I thought they were going to choose me for the job. I thought I was going to get the promotion. Or I thought that the person that I was talking to and building this trust with, that they trusted me. And if all of a sudden the Seven of Swords shows up, and it's like, now I don't trust how much effort or energy they're putting in. I really don't know what's going on here. Tell me about the Nine of Cups. We've got the Six of Swords. Oh, it almost feels like you think that somebody is moving on, pulling back their energy, or maybe you are. The Hanged Man is here. Everything has gone into a pause. The Hanged Man is the pause, but it also is perspective. The Five of Pentacles being here tells me that, you know, the thing is it's very interesting that the dichotomy of the Five of Pentacles in this particular deck, the Forest Tarot is what I'm using. There's two people holding hands walking down a path, but the Five of Pentacles is here. So it feels like we were sort of walking in the same direction or going the same way, but it feels like now all of a sudden it's fallen into lack, and I don't understand it, because it feels like it was maybe disillusionment, like maybe I was delusional that things were working the way that I thought that they were. It feels like you feel somebody has moved on, or that maybe they're just quiet or in a pause, or they've been silent for some reason. It feels like something is in a pause. And look, I could be reading directly about you as well, right? So this could be you. Maybe you have decided, wait a second, I thought that things were different. It feels like things are going backwards, or that we are gone back to surface connection. And I thought that things were in a better place than that. Tell me more about Libra. We've got the Page of Wands, we've got the Four of Wands, and we've got the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that you thought that things were a lot more stable than they are. And maybe they are. Like, maybe there still is stability here. The Page of Wands tells me that there's a spark or an interest or something that's exciting. And I thought that we had gone from this place of the beginning of the path. I thought that we had gotten partway on the path, and that we were coming to this place where, yeah, I thought that things were stabilizing themselves. I thought we were growing. I thought we were becoming dependable. And this could be friends, right? We're looking at pentacles here. I don't see any cups. I see some Piscean energy here. Somebody is trying to make sense of this spark that seems to be going backwards. It's like, I want things to move forward, but I don't understand what's going on here. I thought that we were solid. I thought that I was providing enough stability for you to be honest or truthful with me. You know what? It feels like the pause before something does move forward. It feels like that it's going backwards, but Libra, I don't think it is. I think it's the in-between is what it is. We're in between right now. And so maybe you've applied for an internal position at work. Let's just give for instance, and you're waiting on an answer. I don't think it's that they haven't chosen you. I feel like we're waiting for divine timing. I feel like we're waiting for destiny to show up and push things forward. I think the beginning of a new cycle is here, because 10s always break down to 1s, and 10 is the number of the Wheel of Fortune. But it also is Jupiter. Things are expanding, and I feel like they are expanding in the right direction because the King of Pentacles is here. Maybe things are growing, right? And you don't see them growing. It feels like things are growing to become more solid. I don't think things are moving backwards. It might feel that way. It's like, you know, when you're in when you're in traffic. I don't know why Charlie's showing me this. Charlie's my guide, by the way. You know, when you're in traffic and all of a sudden the car beside you begins to move backwards, and you thought that you were standing still, and so you slam on the brakes, but your foot was already on the brakes. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It feels like an illusion. And I think that's what the Nine of Cups in the reverse is telling me. It's like illusion, not delusion. I don't think you're delusional. I think things are moving in the right direction. I think things are still moving, like they're, with the Six of Swords, it feels like things are still in motion. But right now is a time of perspective. Like either you stop talking to them, or they've stopped talking to you, or the boss hasn't said anything about it, because we're in the in-between, the place where things are recalibrating. That's what it feels like, because we're in the cosmic reset, 11/11, right? Things are recalibrating or resetting here. Tell me what the outcome is. The Tower. Oh, there it is. There's your movement, right? Things are moving. You just don't see it. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. It could be at the workplace for some of you. And we've got the Knight of Wands. So things are going to move forward. Somebody's going to find the bravery to say something, do something. But it feels like, I want to say somebody is in the recalibration process. We're in the place where things are in the expansion, right? We just don't go from A to B or here to there. We have to wait for this in-between area to grow until it outgrows the situation, and boom, all of a sudden there we are in the destined path. But it feels like with this Knight of Wands energy, that's going to happen sooner than you think it is. But the Eight of Pentacles tells me right now is the time of recalibration. We're looking it over. Are you the subject matter expert? Are you the one that really wants this? Or the person, if it's someone that's outside of you, do they really want this? Somebody's become quiet about something because I'm trying to analyze the situation. But the Tower is here, so something is about to shift. And it will shift soon, very soon, because the Knight of Wands is here. And for me, Wands is weeks. And so the Knight is holding a wand. It feels like something here is about to shift. Some of you in the next 6 days, some of you in the next week or so. It feels like something is about to shift here. Shift into a more solid place. Tell me what's around the corner for Libra. We've got the Emperor there. We've got the Page of Cups. There we are. And we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I feel like somebody here is checking in with themselves to see if this is the real thing. When the Queen of Cups comes up in the reverse, this is somebody who's feeling emotionally depleted. Look, there could be something going on under the surface that you don't see. I feel like there is going to be more communication or something new or exciting or surprising is going to happen here. The Emperor is here. It feels like somebody was just trying to get their shit together. Do you know what it means? It feels like I was like pulling myself, like pulling everything in or pulling back my energy to get my security and stability, to be brave, to know what I want, because when I go in, I go all in. That's the Emperor. I'm not going back. Once I make the decision, those are all fixed signs. Once I make the decision, I'm not going back. And so when I'm in, I'm all in. So it feels like you're going to have a surprise that's going to make you possibly emotional, because I think this is what you've been wanting. It also could be a recalibration someone is going through, and they are growing up or aligning, having some sort of cosmic reset. They are growing from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. Somebody is holding in their passions. Somebody has more wisdom. They have more knowledge than they used to. They're still going to go get what they want, but they're going to take their time, because the King of Wands has wisdom. And the King of Wands knows that, yes, I can still have what I want, but I don't want to start it in fire, because fire does burn out. The bottom of the deck is strength. Somebody's holding back here. Could be you, could be somebody else. We've got the Eight of Swords and the Strength card. Yes, we're overthinking it. That's what it is. So I have a feeling it might be you who's overthinking it. You are scared that you're going to get your heart broken here, but you know that this is left wide open. You haven't closed the door. We're not done. We're not finished. This isn't over. It feels like somebody here is deciding how I want to proceed to the future and is really overthinking the details. It feels like there is a lot of details to go over before I make the decision judgment that this is never going to be over. It feels like somebody here is scared they're going to get their heart broken, and so they're frozen in the thought pattern, frozen in this place where they've put themselves in the Eight of Swords, where I can't make the decision. I'm scared my decision. Two of Swords, two swords down for me is making the decision. Three of Swords is that I could get my heart broken, and Three of Swords is right here. So Six of Swords is showing up here. I don't think this is over. I feel like this is in a pause, but it might be in a pause because you want it to be, and because maybe you are waiting to see if someone will chase or someone will pursue. And look, if we're dealing with Empress energy, that person will not pursue. They know their worth, and they're waiting for you to pursue. If you are the Empress, then it's vice versa, right? We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. More Pisces, Aries. We've got Sagittarius energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Scorpio. Here we go. Leo, bottom of the deck. All right. This all might happen or go down in Scorpio season. Speaking of Scorpio, happy birthday, friends. Tell me about Scorpio. Look, how's that Mercury retrograde going for you, friends? Good God. It's heavy duty for me, man. It's heavy duty. So if you've got a Scorpio placement, tell me. Are you feeling it? What's the deal? Tell me about Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Brought out the holiday deck because, well, my American friends, the holiday season is quickly approaching for you, right? Let's find out what's going on for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in the next 7 days. All right. The Nine of Pentacles is here. Why is this? We've got the Tower showing up here, the lightning tree. We've got the Six of Pentacles. And we've got the Five of Cups. What's going on here? Scorpio, it feels like something is about to happen and you're not expecting it. I feel like something is about to shift in a moment's notice. Scorpio, I think that you have been over-giving to someone. And I feel as though this might be in a relationship or possibly in a job, but it feels like you're the one who's been over-giving. The Six of Pentacles is here. I don't think this is an even give and take. It doesn't feel like it is because the Five of Cups is here and the Tower is here. It feels like it's a realization that I am giving a lot of love. I'm giving a lot of time, effort, energy, or money, and somebody is not. I feel like it's very lopsided, and the realization is the Tower. You're realizing that maybe the Nine of Pentacles is where I need to be. I feel like you're pulling back your energy, and it feels like you're in this energy of, maybe I just have to pull back my energy, and maybe I need to be single for a while. Somebody here doesn't like that they're being taken advantage of. I think that you think if you stay in this situation as it is, Six of Pentacles, where there's uneven give and take, I feel like that you realize you could end up being that you could end up regretting it. It's a realization, I feel. I feel the Tower's a realization, but it also is a shift of how you see things. That it's almost like somebody's like, I was far happier when I was single. Then I didn't have to worry about these things. I didn't have to worry about who was giving and who wasn't giving. The Sun is here. Boy, these cards are jumping for you. The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, boy. And we have the King of Pentacles. Yep. Scorpio, I think that you are the King of Pentacles. I think you're the one who provides a lot of financial assistance or time, effort, energy. It feels like you're the King of Pentacles. And look, the King of Pentacles is the overgiver. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But Taurus specifically, but Virgo and Capricorn because we're in a reading that is general. I feel like the Sun has shown up with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower because you're being thrown into this place of realization that something is changing, or something has changed or has got to change. Either way, something is going to be changing soon. You are going to be having some sort of a realization that I think this is done. I don't think this is any fun for me anymore. Got somebody here is looking at the 3 cups on the floor that are broken. That's the 3 cups, which is usually happiness, right? And then we've got a rainbow, but this person can't see the rainbow. The 2 cups is here. I thought it was warm, but it's not really. All the good things are like you aren't looking at all the good things. You're very focused on the 3 cups, which are poured out, but the fire is behind you, which is warm. The 2 of cups is here. There's a cat curled up. There's a rainbow. It feels like you are very focused on something that's not working. I think that's because the Sun and the Tower are here. It feels like you're having a realization with a shift. It does feel like an awakening, my friend. That I didn't feel this way when I was single or when I was doing it all on my own, or possibly it's a realization that I am doing it all on my own. And that's the worst if you are in a relationship or in a job that you've been in for many years, that you've been giving more and this person doesn't, my boss just doesn't care. Like the place I work for just doesn't care. I'm working and they're not paying me enough and they don't really care. We've got the 7 of Cups. We've got the Emperor. And we've got the Hierophant. It is time for you to take charge of your path. It's time to listen to the higher self and go out on the path that is meaningful for you. I don't think you'll be alone there, to be honest, but with the Emperor showing up with the Hierophant, it feels like you have to pull back your spiritual energy, pull back your leadership, pull back your structure. It feels like you're the person who offers the structure. You're the person who offers the stability. You're the one who's offering the pentacles. It feels like you're the one who's doing it on your own, but it feels like you're in a group of people or with someone else who is not offering the same thing that you are. Because the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles are both overgivers. And the Emperor being here is the one with all the security and the stability. The 7 of Cups with the Emperor could be, I'm really confused why this isn't working out the way that I thought it would. I thought that it was going to work out a different way. The illusion here is that it was that the 6 of Pentacles is here. I think that's what the illusion is, the 7 of Cups. But the actual thing that's happening as the Tower's falling and the Sun's coming out is the 5 of Cups. The wheel of the year here, something is going to be changing or moving forward by year's end. This is the last year, I'm going to say, Scorpio. It's got to be. It's got to be the last year where I bring it all and I feel alone in a group of people, or I feel like I'm the only one that's putting effort into the cause. I take care of everything. And someone else is just hanging out with me, watching me do all the work. The Queen of Cups is here. Somebody feels here that what they offer is enough, that they offer emotional support. I feel like you're doing all the heavy lifting. I feel like you're doing all the buying, all the merchandising. It's like time, effort, energy. You are doing all the heavy lifting, and someone here is offering you moral support or emotional support. And I feel like that's about to come to an end. It almost feels like it was an illusion. I'm looking at that crystal ball sitting there. This person said a lot of things to you. They made a lot of promises. They wrote a lot of things down. We had a lot of contracts we made. And I don't think it's working out the way you thought it would. It's time for you to sort of look at what path you're on. Because I feel like this path that you're on is a path that you want to stay on. That you think is solid. It's good. I feel good here. I've built a structure here. But somebody here is just here to offer emotional or moral support. It's time for me to detach, right? The 8 and the 7, or sorry, the 1 and the 7 is 8. Outcome, we've got the 5 of Wands. And now you go into the self-negotiation. The 5 of Wands is indecision. What do I do? Do I do it now? Do I wait till the end of the year? Do I wait till Christmas is over? This is the place where we get into this situation here where it's like we start negotiating. Well, it's only 6 weeks to the end of the year. Do I wait till the end of the year before I decide to break this? Before I decide that I'm going to shift everything? Or do I do it now? It feels like the Wheel of Fortune is showing up here and is giving you clarity about you. It feels like you're getting clarity in the next 7 days about you're the one that's been offering all of this. The 10 of Swords is here. So you're thinking about ending something, but you're in indecision as to whether you do that now or whether you do it at year's end. We have the 6 of Cups. You know, I feel like you are stuck in nostalgia. I've put a lot of time in. We've been together a long time. I've had this job forever. It feels like you feel loyalty with the King of Pentacles and the Hierophant. You feel loyalty to something or someone or a situation, and I feel like what has you in the hesitation, the reason why you haven't gone to the 10 of Swords just yet, is because you're remembering, right? This person is in their socks. Yep, they're standing there in their socks, no jacket, but it's a winter scene. And it's like they're remembering how good it used to be. It's like I grew up with you, or we've known each other for forever, or this is always the way it's been. And now I think you're thinking of bringing something to an end with the Wheel of Fortune being here, bringing something to an end and starting something else that's brand new. It's around the corner for you. Scorpio, we do have the 5 of Swords. We have the Justice card, and we have the King of Wands. It feels like something has to come into balance. You have to have your justice. I feel like a conversation needs to be had, and I think that you know where this conversation takes you. I think you know with the 5 of Swords what happens in this conversation. I feel like you're the most psychic of all of us, of the whole damn Zodiac, and I think you know what happens when you open up the can of worms. What happens is the 5 of Swords, and it happens quickly because the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands are here. So is the 5 of Cups, 3 5s, 5 5 5. Something happens very quickly and you're not expecting it. I think that you need justice to go and get what you want, to follow your passions, to light your own fire. And I feel as though you are in indecision about when to do that. I think you're going to do it. I think the decision's already been made, to be honest. But I feel like kids might be involved. You might just be thinking, I'm just going to get through the holidays and be done with it after the holidays. But I don't want to ruin the holidays for the kids. I've got the Ace of Swords. There has to be a conversation, but you know it's going to end up in the 5 of Swords. You know that somebody's going to throw down the swords and walk away. and you don't want to cause fights or arguments, or you don't want to move on before the holidays are over. That's what it feels like here. The King of Swords is here. So you are, oh boy, that's probably the issue. The King and the Queen of Swords are facing each other here. It feels like you are wanting to face things head on, and the Queen of Swords is ready for you. I feel like you're two people who are very intellectually smart. You are highly intellectual, and I feel like we argue in swords. And when it gets to be that way, it gets really disrespectful. Because the Ace of Swords is here, I open the conversation, and although I want justice, I'm opening the conversation because I want justice, it feels like it gets to be way too fiery. That's what happens. The King of Wands and the Ace of Swords, we start cutting each other down. Yeah. Feels like there's going to be a sword fight, right? That's what it feels like. The King and the Queen of Swords feels like there's going to be a sword fight, my friend. And when I say sword fight, I feel like it's a war of words is what it is. All right. So we've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius here. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, Taurus, Aries. We've got Pisces energy here, Libra. Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, more Leo. Scorpio energy here. Got a lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. I think that it's probably going to, what it comes down to, it's going to come down to the things that we own. And I think that you're going to make your decision based on your material world or your material wealth, or whether to quit the job or not, or whether to relieve yourself of whatever's going on in your relationship, because I think you're carrying all of it financially. All right. Tell me about Sagittarius. Your family. How you doing? Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus and Jupiter. Sagittarius, happy 11/11. That's what I'm throwing these cards. You might get this on the 12th. Let's find out what's going on for Sag in the next 7 days. Sneak peek for this week. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Sagittarius, we've got the Death card. Something is changing, transforming, or ending. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Hanged Man. Oh. And we've got the Two of Swords. Sag, I think you're about to make a decision. It feels like there was something here that began as a spark of interest, a spark of excitement, a spark of butterflies in the belly. It feels like this Hanged Man energy tells me that everything has fallen into a pause. Now, the Page of Wands could tell me that there was communication going back and forth, and that has stopped or has fallen into a pause. It feels like the reason it's fallen into a pause is because somebody is feeling a little bit blocked in their intuition, cannot make a decision about what to do next. Somebody is trying to get perspective about what to do with the rest of their life. This Hanged Man hangs from the tree of life. And trying to get a different perspective. What do I really want? I feel like somebody here is scared to get hurt. It feels like it could be a Libra, a fire sign, possibly a Pisces or a Scorpio. It feels like somebody here is scared to get hurt. Something here is maybe not ending, but possibly transforming. Let's clarify this Death card. It might be quiet because somebody's trying to look at something from a different perspective. Tell me what's going on here. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Swords. And we've got the Fool. It feels like the reason that we're in a pause is because things are currently in transformation. I feel like one person, whether it's you or them, somebody here has gone quiet because they are going over the analytics of the situation. Somebody here sees the value in you, or you see the value in the situation. It feels like somebody feels like they put a lot of time or effort into something, the building of something. The Five of Swords tells me that even though somebody's going over the analytics and understands the situation for what it is, there is a spark here. It feels like somebody here is feeling like they can't say what they want to say. Someone here feels like if they say whatever it is that they want to say, that you'll see them as a fool. You'll see them as making a fool of themselves. They don't want to make a fool of themselves, and they don't want to be turned away, I'm going to say, with the Five of Swords. It feels like, what if I say it? What if I tell this person I really like them? What if I tell them I'm really attracted to them? What if I tell them I really like to have conversations with them? And then they're like, whoa, 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 that's not what's going on here. Somebody is feeling like if I say something, it might end up in the Five of Swords. This person might throw down their swords and walk away and say, hey, that's not what was really going on here. So I feel like somebody's keeping to themselves, or keeping it surface level, or keeping it very shallow. We got 5 and 2 is just 7, or is not saying anything because they're trying to get a perspective about what this means. I'm not really sure. We haven't defined it. It feels like things are actually transforming rather than ending. I don't think this is over, but interesting. Okay, we'll take that one. That I feel like the Fool energy here is telling me I don't want this person to see me as a fool. I want them to see me as taking a leap toward them that is very exciting and a new beginning. I don't want them to think that I'm a fool. The Hierophant is here. Tell me why the Hierophant's here. The Lovers is here. Oh, that's what the problem is. Somebody is a very loyal lover, is what it is. And they're very confused as to whether you are as serious about it as they are. So the Hierophant has their own structure, is on their own path. They know to listen to the higher self. But this person is also has a hard time making decisions. It takes them a really long time to make decisions, right? This is Taurus energy, and then below the Taurus energy is the Two of Swords. It feels like somebody's not willing to give up their path. I don't want to give up my life. I don't want to make changes. I don't want to compromise. And so somebody here is wondering if you'll see them as somebody who's too inflexible. Like somebody will say, like, if we take this past the Page of Wands, it's going to have to be on my terms. I'm not willing to give up what I'm doing right now, so you'll have to fit into my life. Somebody is choosing to stay on their path because they feel that it's a valuable path. They trust themselves. They've grown to the Hierophant. They could be a spiritual teacher, or maybe I'm talking about you. We've got the Lovers here. It feels like somebody here is choosing or trying to choose something to do with the heart space. The Hierophant is telling me that somebody here is super loyal. So when I go in, I'm all the way in. And I know that if I make a decision and I do take the leap of faith, that's it, I'm in. Now I feel vulnerable. I feel like I've rolled over and shown someone the soft white underbelly. And now it's like I don't have any control over the situation anymore. The Hierophant is very serious about being traditional, being in control, walking on the path that I've created for myself. So it feels like the Seven of Cups here is somebody who is sort of confused about what to do, confused about the decision. I'm not really sure what I want to do here. We've got the Four of Wands, but what I do know is that I want stability and that you make me feel really happy and joyous and celebratory. And I really enjoy when I'm around you. And I've already thought about, this is dreamy energy, the Seven of Cups. Somebody is dreaming or daydreaming about what it would be like if we could settle down and have some sort of a traditional relationship. But it feels like that one of you, somebody here, the one who has the Taurus energy, it could be anywhere, right? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter. It feels like whoever has the Taurus energy doesn't want to give up their path. They're not willing to compromise because they've really built a solid structure that they trust. Tell me what the outcome is here. We've got the Ten of Cups, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we have the Magician. So can we create the ultimate happiness and fight for what we want together? The Seven of Wands is like somebody really wants to stand up for themselves, but they have boundaries. there is a lot of attraction here. I'm just going to say that. There's a lot of attraction here. I think I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about a job. It feels like there's a lot of attraction here, and somebody who really does want to create happiness, or the Ten of Cups, the ultimate happiness with somebody. But it feels like somebody has specific boundaries. I'm not willing to compromise my way of life, the path that I'm on, my spiritual self, my religious convictions. I'm not willing to compromise those things. Those are non-negotiables. And I feel like the Five of Swords might say we might have fundamental differences, because the Hierophant is kind of stuck in their ways and has a bunch of non-negotiables, right? And this could be because we're later in our lives, right? We're later, we're older, we have more wisdom. Somebody who's already fixed their path. Tell me what what's around the corner for Sagittarius. We've got the Ten of Wands, we've got the King of Cups, and we've got the King of Pentacles. It does feel like somebody wants to relieve themselves of carrying around a heavy emotional burden. They do want to have some sort of solid, grounded, dependable, situation, I'm going to say, with you, whatever the situation is. Somebody here does, they do feel like they want to provide for the other person. I want to provide stability. I want to provide money. I want to provide a home. And it feels like somebody here is feeling a very heavy emotional burden about what they're going to have to give up in order to be able to do that. We've got the Eight of Cups. Tell me what the Eight of Cups is here. Queen of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the World card. Somebody, the reason everything has gone quiet here, Sag, is because someone is realizing that they are not as flexible as they thought that they were. They do want to move forward, but they're wondering if they need to move forward and detach from the situation, because after observing, this might not be the best thing for me to do with my time, efforts, energy, and money. The World card is here. It feels like somebody here will see this as somebody here with this World card energy here. Some of you are just going to end it and go forward. I feel like there's a bold move that's being made here. For some of you, the observation is going to bring you to a place of, can we just bring things full circle and decide what we're going to do in this King of Pentacles energy? And for others of you, this door is closing. Somebody is observing and detaching and realizing that the bold moves that they're making are not matching the bold moves that you're making. They feel like there's too many fundamental differences in order for this to carry forward. But there is emotional connection. There is a spark. There is attraction. But somebody feels like they don't have any justice, or that things, might not work out. We might end up arguing about the things that are under the surface that we don't see yet. Somebody feels like there could end up being arguments about the fundamental differences that we have. Feels like there's a conversation that's needed here, but someone is in their head about what's going on here. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, Aries, Aquarius. We've got Gemini and Aries here. Libra energy, Scorpio, Pisces, and Virgo energy. All right, big decisions being made here. Tell me about Capricorn. How's Capricorn? Tell me about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Capricorn for the next 7 days, please. What's going on for Capricorn? This cosmic reset on 11/11. Tell me about Capricorn. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Eight of Swords. The Two of Wands is in the reverse, and a Page of Pentacles is here. It feels like somebody here is making a decision to detach from the Eight of Swords. So if it's been quiet between you and somebody else, your boss, you and your boss, you and your person that you've been dating or person that you've been talking to online, it feels like the Eight of Swords energy here and the Eight of Cups is telling me someone is detaching or getting out of their head. Someone has an answer. It feels like they've come to a realization or an answer. The Two of Wands to me is I've planned long enough. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to jump in head first. Page of Pentacles is I'm doing this and shit's about to get real, is what it feels like here. It feels like something's about to get real. Tell me about the Eight of Cups here. We've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Six of Cups. And we've got the Stars. So it feels like somebody here is making a decision about their wish fulfillment. The Eight of Cups being here tells me that somebody is also detaching from the Five of Cups. I feel like somebody was trying to make a decision about something, about wish fulfillment, or what's really going to make me happy going into the future. Someone's really hopeful about a connection that feels like the Six of Cups. It feels like we've known each other in another life, or we've known each other forever. We are soulmates, or possibly I feel like I've known you in another life. It feels like somebody here is hoping that what I feel is what you feel. I think that it took a little bit of time and negotiation. Somebody here was in the Five of Cups feeling like, gosh, what if this is all illusion? What if I'm delusional? What if they don't feel the same way? Somebody is about to make a big step forward here to go find the Two Cups. To tell somebody that you're mine and I want to deepen this connection with you. And it's about to become real. Page of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Fool. So if you're dealing with someone who feels like they're holding back their feelings or not making enough time for you, Capricorn, somebody who's like, I'm really busy, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I don't have enough time for you. It feels like what they're doing is they're buying time. It feels like they're buying time by holding back their energy because the next leap that they take is huge. It's into a new chapter in their life. The Eight of Pentacles is here, and it feels like what I'm doing is, or what somebody's doing here is holding back because they're recalibrating or going over the details or going over all of the minute details, all of the analytics. Is this really what I want? Because somebody here is about to do something huge. They could be asking you to marry them. They could be saying, look, are we exclusive? It feels like somebody's pulled back their energy from you, their energy, effort, time, money, whatever it is, that they've pulled it back because they're about to give you some sort of an offer, a really big offer. So if you haven't been hearing from them or they feel distant to you, shut off or shut down, not really giving you a lot of their time or vulnerability, I feel like they are creating distance because they're trying to figure out what they need to do next. The Six of Pentacles is here. So, because when this person gives, they give evenly. So they're trying to figure out, am I getting what I'm giving? Is there even reciprocal energy here? Should I wait? Seven Pentacles. Should I just go ahead and say it? 6 and 4 is 10. Is this my long-term person? It feels like there's a lot of questions, a lot of question marks going on, and they've pulled back their energy because they are about to take a really big leap with you. Tell me about the outcome here. We've got the Five of Pentacles, we've got the Wheel, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So something's about to change. There's a really big change here. So if you've been feeling like somebody has been leaving you out in the cold, that everything is about to change. They are about to shower you in gifts, shower you in money, shower you in time, effort, energy. Somebody here is trying to get up the nerve to say or do something because when this person is in, they're all in. So they're making a really big decision in their life to put a lot of things on the back burner in order to give you a lot of their attention. Everything here is about to change, and it's because this is a destined connection. I feel like you are probably single at this time, or maybe you've been seeing someone, speaking to someone. Maybe we've said I love you, but nobody's really made anything concrete. What I mean by that is this person hasn't really made any concrete plans with you, I would say. I think that somebody here is coming to you in a very confident energy and saying, okay, this is where everything changes. This is where I'm all in. This is where I'm taking a leap of faith with you to give you as much as you're giving me, and just don't hurt me. Tell me what's around the corner. The Two of Cups, there it is. 7 of Wands. Oh, and the Tower, okay. It does feel like somebody is going to get the I love you. Somebody's going to get, are we just exclusive because I'm going to clean out everybody that's in my phone. It feels like something here is shifting. Someone who had a lot of boundaries with you is about to release the boundaries and let you in. That's what it feels like here, Capricorn. So there is the Two of Cups. Somebody wants to deepen the connection with you. Everything is about to shift. Someone who is in their Emperor energy, so whether they're a man or a woman, whoever's in their masculine energy primarily is going to pursue you. And I feel like this person is showing up saying, look, if I'm going to be in your life, then you have to let me take care of you. You have to let me provide for you. You have to let me help you. It feels like I'm talking to a Capricorn who's very independent, and it's hard for you to just give over your energy to the Emperor and say, okay, I'll give you some of that energy if you want to be in charge. It feels like we're having a really big conversation about where things go from here, but the Emperor has a very long list of criteria. You have to let me help you. You have to let me help you do it once in a while. I'm not trying to take away your independence, but you got to let me help you do things. So it feels like there is a very big decision. Somebody wants to create passion and forward movement here. Somebody is taking a really, really big, bold move here. They might even be asking you to move in. So if you've been dating them for a while and you've been together for a while, they might say to you, look, you have to let me provide for you. You have to let me dote on you. You have to let me take care of you. So it feels like somebody here, that's the biggest thing that's been weighing on their mind with the King of Cups here. That's the biggest thing that's been weighing on me, is the emotional weight, is that I've really got to be honest and truthful with you. Before we enter into anything like the Fool, I need to have a buy-in from you at some point about some of the things that are really important to me. I've got the Aries energy here. Scorpio, more Aries. We've got Aquarius energy. We've got some more Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo, and Piscean energy. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, I am dealing these cards on 11/11. So, this is the day of cosmic reset. Right? If you want to hear all my blah blah, go to the beginning of the video. And let's find out what's going on for you in the next 7 days. Tell me what's going on for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Aquarius, please. What's going on for Aquarius? The Eight of Cups, Aquarius. Got the Chariot. You planning on moving on from somewhere here? Got the Page of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. It does feel like you are in detachment mode, friend. I don't know if I have a sign that I read for that has the Eight of Cups come up as much as you. I'm just saying, you're always moving on from somewhere. It feels like with this Chariot energy, you're detaching emotionally and getting back into alignment. It feels like I'm getting back into alignment. Somebody might be a little bit surprised that I'm headed out on a different path, is what it feels like here. We've got a big push forward of energy, and it does feel like you're happy to be on the new path, that it's very exciting. It might be something very new. It could be a new creative project, but it feels like whatever you're detaching with this Eight of Cups, there's something here that was not working for you. Emotionally, you're detaching from something. You're pulling back your energy and saying, look, I gotta go. I gotta go to the next project, gotta go to the next path. If I'm gonna have any wish fulfillment, I've gotta get myself in alignment with my emotions, tuck them back under the surface. It almost feels like you feel that being in your emotions or being in your feelings was a detriment to you. And I feel like you were settling for something here that you've decided you can no longer settle for. It feels like it's time for you to wake up and see the situation for what it is, that it's time for you to get disciplined with your emotional energy here. We've got the Five of Cups. You weren't happy there, wherever that was. We've got the Tower. Whew. Okay. And we've got the Emperor. Look, you're always going to do what you're going to do for you, friend, whether you are in your masculine or feminine energy. I feel like whether you are the man or the woman, whether you are the man or the woman emperor here, the person who is in their masculine energy, it feels like somebody here is causing a tower by leaving. Yeah. It feels like you thought you were settling for something here. It feels like it took away your power, like you feel like it took away your power. You have a new exciting path that has shown up here, and I don't think you were expecting it. And that might be why you're just disconnecting. It's like you didn't know what you wanted until the thing showed up. And I think that this is making you excited. I don't necessarily think it has anything to do with romance, but we could be talking about a relationship, but also a job, or also a place where you were living. It feels like that the tower came and you realized that the illusion that you were in was the Eight of Cups, the illusion that you were happy. You actually weren't the happiest you could be. So I feel like instead of staying in the Eight of Cups where you're settling, I feel like you're going out to look for the Two. So you're absolutely in this joyous happiness. And I feel like, the Emperor is like a lone soldier, right? The Emperor is the one who makes all the decisions and everyone else follows along. So I feel like you're in this independent energy of I'm just going to push forward and do what I'm going to do because I'm the one who has the security, the stability. I'm in charge of me. It feels like there is something here that shows up that maybe you thought that you were happy until this Page of Cups thing showed up. And now you realize how unhappy you were. And so as this Page of Cups thing shows up, so does the Chariot at the same time. That this thing is exciting. It might be a new path. Could be a new creative project. Tell me what else is going on here. We've got the Hierophant. Got the Ten of Pentacles. And we've got the Lovers. So it does feel like that there is a choice that you had to make here. A choice you had to make about whatever is going to serve me for the next 10 years or for the rest of the time here. For some of you, the Hierophant is tradition, stability. I've already built my path. It almost feels like you feel that the Eight of Cups sort of pulled you off the path for a little bit, and you got to get back in alignment with yourself, with the higher self. The Hierophant is stubborn, but very structured, but very serious about the future. And so you're making choices that are going to bring you into alignment, Ten of Pentacles, with your higher self. So it does feel like a reset for you, that you're excited about the plans you've made for yourself, but the plans you've made for yourself are not necessarily in alignment with everyone else. It's causing a tower, or you have experienced a tower that's shifting you out of this place of you felt like you couldn't go, and then all of a sudden you had this realization, look, I'm the Emperor. I can go wherever I want. I can do whatever I want. I'm the one who created the path. I can walk the path. I'm the one who makes the rules. Tell me one more card here. We have the Magician. I'm the creator of everything. I'm the creator of my future. I'm the creator of my life going into the future. You have all the tools. You are in creation mode, but now you've got to make decisions that align you with the self. What is it that I'm trying to create? I think you're trying to create excitement or happiness or good news, something that feels good to you here. I think your intuition has been nudging you this way, and now you're finally just making the decision to create the path, create the alignment, and make the decision that's best for me for the rest of the time that I'm here, or for the next 10 years, or for the new cycle. Tell me what's in the outcome, please, for Aquarius. I've got the Ten of Swords. Yeah, you definitely are going to bring something to an end, and it's not going to be easy for you either, I'm going to say. So whoever it is that you're hurting because you're leaving, and it might be a group of people, it could be a job, maybe you're going out in a blaze of glory because the tower is here. It feels like whatever it is, you know that there's something you're seeking that is of more value, better health, better for your mental health, better for your physical health. It feels like there is something here that's better for you, but in order to move forward, you've got to end something, which is going to be terribly painful for whomever you might be ending it with, the employer or the person or the people, but it could be for you as well. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the Three of Swords. Yeah, very painful. I feel like you're just going to do what Aquarius does. You're going to stay stoic on the surface, my friend. The High Priestess tells me you're keeping it all in. The thing is that you feel very deeply about this whole thing. You feel very deeply. You feel very sort of sad. You feel like this, I just wished it would have worked out better for me. The Three of Swords tells me you feel a little bit broken, like you're heartbroken, that I wish this would have worked out, but my intuition is telling me I've got to go. I've got to go, the place where I've got to go. Tell me what's around the corner for Aquarius. Got the Ten of Wands. What are you dropping here? The Eight of Pentacles. This was costing you too much of your time, effort, or energy. It took your focus off you. Whatever it is that you're leaving behind was something that made you put yourself on the back burner in order to do something for someone else, build something for someone else, help someone with something else. And I feel like you forgot yourself. You forgot that you are the person who built yourself to be the emperor. I feel like what was weighing heavy on you was that there was probably a financial obligation or a time obligation, or you put a lot of your time, effort, and energy into something, and it just was weighing heavy on you. You weren't getting really anything out of it because the Eight of Cups is here. The Six of Cups is here. The Three of Pentacles is here. It feels like you did build a foundation with somebody, a person, a group of people. You were at a certain place in your life for a while, maybe the last 6 months or 3 years possibly, but it feels like it became very heavy because you were the one who was providing everything. It could be financially, it could be emotional support, it could be time, effort. Maybe it's effort you were putting in and they weren't giving you any effort. I feel like you decided to pull back your energy and use your energy of creation to manifest what you want. You're making decisions, choices about what you need to do to find your own Ten of Pentacles is what it feels like. And I think it's happening right away. Yeah, I think that the end is near. It feels like something here is probably ending in the next week or so. It feels like something is right around the corner. And it's not going to make you feel very good. Like you're taking this leap of faith because of the abundance here and the World card telling me something has to end in order for something to begin, right? And in order for you to step into your Empress energy, you've got to leave the place that you are. You've got to transform the energy in order to move forward. And I think you are going to have to cause a tower to do that, or everything is shifting. So to remind you of who you are, by the way, to remind you that you're in charge and that you had been pulled off the path a little bit. We've got Gemini and Aries, more Gemini energy, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, Aries. We've got Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, as well as more Sagittarius energy. Tell me about my two fishes friends. My water family. How you doing, Pisces? I hope you're well. Let's find out what's going on. Happy 11/11 as I throw these cards. It is 11/11, so we are back at the cosmic reset, right? Let's find out what's going on, because once you align on the inside, everything starts to fall into alignment on the outside, friend. Let's find out what's coming up in the next 7 days for you whenever you find this. We've got the Five of Swords, Pisces. We've got the Fool. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I just walk away and take another leap somewhere else? You gotta hurt someone to do it, though. We've got the Four of Wands. And the Seven of Cups. I don't think you can make a decision. Look, I feel like you think something's over. And so maybe I should just cut this person. Like, maybe I should just cut the situation. I'm just looking at her holding this, I guess it's supposed to be a sword or a knife or something. It feels like the way she's like, every man for himself. I got to protect myself. I think you're trying to protect your emotional energy. It feels like there is, pardon me, something that you were, You don't know how to feel about it. I'm just going to say, you don't know how to feel about it. The Four of Wands is here, which is celebration, stability. And then the Seven of Cups is here, which is confusion and illusion. Was this an illusion? Were we stable or were we not? I feel like you're trying to make a decision about whether to cut somebody or not. Like, because the Five of Swords could be about fighting within the self, right? I can't make a decision. I don't know whether I should just throw down my swords and leave, and leap towards something else. It feels like you really don't know what's going on emotionally. That's what it feels like. Does this person, are they interested in getting some stability or making a commitment? Is this the Ten of Cups? Because this person is very quiet with you, Pisces. High Priestess is here on the bottom of the deck. And I feel like for the foreseeable future, they're going to be very quiet with you. And I feel like it's put you in a place where you don't know if you should just cut and run, or if you should wait to hear. Either way, I think the Fool is here for you. Either way, you get a new beginning. Whether it means you're jumping into some sort of stable relationship with somebody that you felt was maybe confusing or overwhelming, or I didn't really know what was going on. Maybe it's going to shock you when they come to you and say, hey, yeah, that's actually really what I want. But for others of you, it feels like the Five of Swords, she feels like she's protecting herself because I don't want to be let down. Maybe this all is an illusion and I'm seeing it in the wrong way. Maybe somebody here is not ready to take a leap of faith. Five of Swords brings up the Justice card. The Knight of Cups. And the King of Swords. Yeah. Like, can you just be honest with me? Can you just be honest with me about what your feelings are? Like, do you have romantic feelings or not? Somebody here could be dealing with an Aries, possibly a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. Could be, yeah, Aries for sure. Yeah. It feels like with this King of Swords here that you just want someone to be honest about how they're feeling with the Knight of Cups. How are you feeling? Like, I just need to have balance. I need to know what's going on. I need to know, are we fulfilling this contract or are we not fulfilling this contract? I need you to do the right thing and just be honest with me. It feels like you're giving somebody an ultimatum, or you're finally saying to them, look, is this over? Am I cutting and running, or what's the deal here? We've got the Hermit, got the Nine of Wands, the Chariot. They're hiding because they're scared. Somebody here is in deep thought. They've pulled away from you and they're just giving you the head over heart thing. The Nine of Wands is here. It's because they don't want to be hurt. They're trying to negotiate with themselves whether they should cut and run because the Chariot is here. I don't know if they want to maybe keep their feelings hidden. It feels like somebody is going through some sort of a reckoning or a releasing of things. An alignment, like a realignment, trying to bring my emotions in balance with the 3D. Like, it feels like somebody's going through a realignment here. In the 3D, it feels like with this Hermit energy here. Because somebody here has been hurt over and over again, and I don't think that they want to do it again. So they're wondering, is this Chariot, am I just releasing this and moving on because the full moon's behind her head? Or am I going to try and bring everything into alignment, ignore how I feel about the Nine of Wands, and then figure things out? Eight of Pentacles. So somebody here I feel is overthinking things. The Eight of Pentacles is somebody who can't get over editing the edits. It's like you've already thought about that, but now we've made the do's and the don'ts, the list of the do's and the don'ts. Now that you know how many do's and don'ts you have, now you sort of look at everything and reassess every do and don't. It's like somebody keeps going over the edits, editing the edits and then editing those edits that were already edited. Somebody's stuck. It feels like they're stuck because they are really hard on themselves, or this looks like a situation they've been in before. And although you're a new person, it feels like this is something I've done before. It's confusing. I'm not sure. They've pulled back their energy. They're probably giving you very head over heart energy. I feel like they do have feelings. That's the thing, but they're scared of getting hurt. And they can't make a decision as to whether they should move forward and get to know you better, or if they should just pull all the way back. Either way, you need some justice, right? Tell me what the outcome is. The Angel of the Night. Very interesting. Specific to this particular deck. Okay, so if you are dealing with an Emperor, this person has been going through a dark night of the soul. And it feels like as they're going through a dark night of the soul, they've been observing things from a distance. It's almost like they're having an out-of-body experience. It's like they're observing themselves going through a lot of pain, anguish, and agony. They're looking back. You can see the Emperor here is looking back at the Angel of the Night. The Angel of the Night is the dark night of the soul. So it feels like somebody here is looking back at the dark night of the soul and thinking, I've already completed that. I've already done that. And that made me the Emperor. I'm pulling my energy within myself and taking control. And then this person here is observing what went on in the past. It feels like somebody here is reliving their trauma and knowing that they don't want to go back there. And so they want to move forward, not backwards. So somebody is really analyzing the situation as to whether they want to move forward or they feel like they're moving backwards. It's all very confusing. It feels like it feels like you do make them feel stable. They do have feelings for you. There is an attraction here. But this person, I feel, has pulled their energy back from you. What's around the corner? Got the Moon energy. We've got the Lovers. See, what you don't see is they really are taken with you. The Strength card, but they're holding back. Look, if they are a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, this tracks. I'm just going to say. Yeah, it just tracks. Look, the Emperor doesn't go in until they're absolutely frickin' sure. Because the Emperor is the one who is all the fixed signs. And the fixed signs don't make a move unless they're sure they're moving forward for the long term. So the Moon energy tells me things are not as they seem. What you don't see is things are not as they seem. This person really has deep feelings for you. It's all like, I feel like you're on their mind at least once a day. You know what I mean? There's very deep emotional feelings here, but they are holding back. So the question is, are they going to stop holding back at any point? The Nine of Swords. I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like at least the next 9 days, I'm going to say, swords for mere days, at least the next 9 days, they hold back. What happens after that? The Devil is here. The Tower is here. And the Ten of Cups is here. I feel like they will come out of this. I'm going to say give them their time, give them their space. This person is trying to make sure that they're not creating a codependent situation. Not only they don't want you codependent on them emotionally, but they don't want to be codependent on you. The Tower is shifting everything and breaking down the illusion. The illusion is the Seven of Cups. So I feel like somebody's going to see something clearer. They're going to see the 10 Cups. They're going to see that you are a person who's good for them, that does make them happy. Bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. I feel like that's the problem, that somebody here is emotionally intelligent and they're keeping everything under the surface until they know that the answer is yes. They're not going to give you false hope. The Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. They're checking in with themselves. This person might feel like they're not financially stable enough for you. Knight of Swords is here. They might just tell you that they don't have a lot to offer you financially. The Eight of Swords is here, and that's what has kept them quiet and in their head. But they really do feel good when they're with you. The Three of Cups is here, and the Page of Wands is here. They're very attracted to you. They do feel excited when they're around you. You make them feel good. You make them feel like they want to celebrate. This might be someone who's in a social group, or you only see them when you're in the social group, but it feels like somebody wants to tell you that, and I think they will. And it's possibly in Scorpio season because the Tower is here. Devil energy is here. It feels like somebody here is scared. There is fear. And I think that the Tower shows up to shift everything from fear into the Ten of Cups. So I feel like it might not be the next 7 days for you. It could be the next 9 days or so. It feels like somebody is going to have a shift in their emotions or shift in how they think. And that's when they actually come to you and finally bring things to the surface. But expect this very honest conversation. Look, I don't have a lot to offer you when it comes to financial things. I don't have a lot for you. And that might put you up in your head somewhere, right? For some of you, it might. All right. I'm going to leave that right here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I'm going to go for now, but I will be back because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.